Hi everyone, FT here, and I'd be interested to see what you think of this video, not because of the contents particularly, but because of the quality. I'm using a Victor digital media camera, which I haven't used before. It's not new, but it's got some good features, so with a bit of luck the sound quality is going to be better and it will be brighter. So welcome to video 7 of 10. This is the P38 black, purchased from JD Airsoft, and of course I purchased in Europe, and therefore the actual packaging is WE Airsoft Europe. Standard brown box with a sticker stuck on the top and a little tick showing whether it's the silver version or the black version. Nothing to write home about. The manual, standard WE type manual, except in this one they actually do have the drawing of the P38 rather than going over to a high capper. Although some things are wrong on it. So as an example here, it says it is an ambidextrous fire selector. Now that's obviously left over from where there was another type of pistol in the picture, because the P38 does not have an ambidextrous fire selector. And by fire selector here they actually mean safety and decocker. Generally it's okay. It's nice to actually see that they've gone to the length of including diagrams that match the actual pistol you've purchased. Breakdown exploded diagram with parts list in Chinese, of course. There are no takedown instructions in this particular manual. You'll notice here that we call this the CP, which is classic pistols. I think the idea was it would be part of a range classic pistols. I don't know. And it doesn't say this on the packaging. Just to finish off with the box, again it's going to come with this mulched moulded cardboard inset, which can easily be recycled, and also it's made to fit any pistol of a certain size that we sell. And I've got a little Allen key in here. I'm not sure what that's for. I'll sort that out a bit later. So here it is, and as with all of my purchases I buy a spare magazine. So this is the spare magazine, gas filled up from the bottom. It takes green gas, and it will take 14 single stack BBs, but you have to feed them in from the actual feed lips one at a time. This is the magazine catch at the bottom here on the heel of the grip, and you basically just push it back and the magazine drops down, and then you can pull it out. So what a pistol, the P38, replacement to the Luger, the P08 as I believe. And this is an awesome machine. It actually reminds me, and it should because it was a P38, of the pistol used by Napoleon Solo in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And I don't mean the film, I mean the series. The difference being is that he had a short barrel version which ended about here, and then it had a cage flash hider over it. He also had lots of accessories on it, but it was basically a P38. It's lovely to hold. Let's start with the grips. Now the grips are plastic, but they're of the era, so if you imagine they are in fact Bakelite, which is a form of early plastic, then that's fine, you'll get away with it. Now I've looked at grip replacements for this, and they are a phenomenal price. They're way more than I'm prepared to pay for replacement grips, but these will do fine for now. I'll start with one of the best features that I've come across on this. Not only does it have a threaded outer barrel, how indeed most WE pistols have, but this one also has the threaded inner barrel. What does that mean? Well, it means I can take the Makarov's barrel extension and silencer and actually use it on the P38. And I now have a suppressed P38. So I think that's a real win there. By having the Makarov with the suppressor, I can also use it on this. Digressing just slightly, the silencer can be used without the inner barrel, of course, and that means it can be used on any WE pistol that has a thread. So here I happen to have a compact Bulldog PX4, and it will just nicely screw onto that. Whereas of course the inner barrel won't, because these do not come with threaded inner barrels. That's due to have a review soon as well. So slightly off subject there, but it's a great thing. And also I've noticed a lot of videos on YouTube show the Makarov or this P38 with a suppressor, but it's not slim like this one. It's a pretty chunky, ugly thing. Whereas this one must have been restyled because it chamfers down here at the ends, and it's a lovely slim piece of kit. Whereas the other ones I've seen, they're quite big and bulbous. And I don't like them, so I'm really pleased I managed to pick this up. So, getting back to this, let's take a look at some of its features. Put the magazine back in. It's easily done by putting the magazine in, just push back and slide up and it locks into place. Take it down again, you just pull this back and it drops out. Quite a lot going on here. Not only does this part of the slide move backwards, but so does this part. This is the safety, and at the moment it's on fire, and I can cock back, the hammer stays back, and you can pull the trigger. You can also put it into safe mode and it decocks at the same time, so it's also a decocker here. But also, if you were to cock the hammer, or try to, it automatically decocks afterwards. Whereas if you have it in fire mode, and then if I cock it, the hammer stays back, so there's little take up on it, and then you can fire. Now, one thing I have noticed with this, it's got a massive firing pin in the back. It is sprung loaded. It's a big chunky knife for this, but it is basically sprung loaded. But it's quite big, and I don't know if the original P38 has such a firing pin. It doesn't bother me. This is a slide catch and release here, and of course it will lock into place when the magazine is empty. It's lovely to hold, it feels so comfortable. It's quite wide on the grip, but it's still extremely comfortable. Absolutely no functions on the right hand side at all. Where the trigger guard meets the bottom of the frame, this time on the right hand side there's a tiny little circle with a capital WE in it. Now, those of you who watch my other videos will know that we have done that on the 1911 version 1, or the very first 1911 versions 1. They put a WE stamp, but it was on the left hand side, and then they did away with the capital WE and just had a circle, and then eventually they did away with that. So it's interesting to see on this one, it's back there, tiny little mark, stamp, WE. All metal, except of course for the grips, which are plastic. And the takedown is relatively easy as well. The takedown for this P38 is quite nice, quite easy. So obviously the first thing we do is remove the magazine. Then we make sure it's in fire mode with the F showing. We cock it back. Just using a finger you can hold it back so it doesn't slide forward. And then use this lever at the front, which is the barrel release basically. You turn it clockwise until it will go no further. Then very gently you can release the slide and take the whole slide and the barrel off at the same time. And there it is. It's got double springs, return springs. It's got one on this side here, it's got one on this side here. Now I'm sure there's plenty of other pistols that have that set up, but the only one I know is the KWA Desert Eagle that I have, that has a similar double spring, but the springs are actually in the slide rather than on the lower frame. Both these return springs are held in place by a little notch on the frame, so be careful when you field strip it. If you go waving the lower frame around, these things can shoot off like missiles, so do take care. But you can take them out by taking the tension off by pushing back and just gradually taking the spring out. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave them in place and very gently put that down there. So we come up to the slide and barrel. Now the way this works is the slide and barrel are interlocked with each other through this part here. So in order to separate these now, there is a little knob here that sticks out, and all you have to do is push it in and it just comes away. And you can see these parts here are what locks the barrel in place. And that's it basically. That is your outer and inner barrel. And this is why you have that tiny little Allen key right here. Is your hop-up adjustment. Bit strange. I haven't used it, but I'm told it works. And I haven't attempted to remove the inner barrel because it looks quite complex. It moves so much, but it's got this spring system in here with a lever, and I'm not about to mess with that. Someone braver than me can do it, or probably has done it, so take a look at the video for that. But that's about as far as I'm going to take that. Then the upper slide, you can see this firing pin here, it is massive. You can see it has a lot of travel, and it's quite massive. The bottom of the nozzle setup is metal. You can see where it's been, the black paint's been worn away. Put this back together. Slide these two wings or flanges on the barrel through the upper part of the slide frame, and it will only go so far. Then what you have to do is basically just push this in so the slide block drops into place like that, and that's in place now. So we'll then add this to the lower frame by sliding it on, and it will only go so far and then it stops. And that's because this block here needs to be pushed up, then the rest will come back. And at this stage it is best just to cock the whole lot back, hold it in place again, and turn this anti-clockwise to lock the barrel, and then release. It's got a lanyard connection here on the side. Rear sights are just solid, like solid metal, not adjustable. Front sights look as though they're dovetailed in, but I'm pretty sure, in fact they're not, they're just, it's a moulded one piece. Put some gas in it and see what the blowback's like. So I'm going to be using Puffdino green gas, but any gas will do. So let's see what we get. It's the first time I've done this myself, so let's see. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. It's got a nice hard kick to it actually for a little pistol. I got my thumbprints all over it. Yeah, very nice. I shouldn't have done that. Show how the proper way of doing it is put it in safe mode. So there it is, the WE P38. I haven't chronoed this myself, but I've been taking a look at some of the sites that have, and they're saying you can get between 290 and 310 feet per second, which is pretty good. And of course with the barrel extension, that's going to add FPS. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you on video number 8.